Hey everybody, it is Scott Colby. Welcome back to the Grateful Entrepreneur Summit. Now, we've got a special guest, Alicia Stryker. So this is kind of a bonus interview, I'd say, because Alicia was supposed to interview with me a couple weeks ago. She had bronchitis, so we postponed the interview until today. So technically, most of the interviews have been released already. So we're bringing on Alicia. So Alicia helps fitness professionals grow their businesses by creating systems, automating their marketing, and has a lot of done-for-you tools and resources for fitness professionals. She's just recently launched a mastermind and coaching program, which I know you're excited about, Alicia. And then also, she's got a pretty cool Facebook group that we're going to talk a lot about called Fitness Business Freedom Formula. Alicia, welcome. How are you?
Hey, thank you so much for having me on, and thank you for your patience. I'm so sorry, like the last couple of weeks, you wouldn't have wanted to have me on here.
Hey, no worries. And, you know, Alicia, we've known each other for years and years. So we're some of the people I've interviewed, you know, I had just literally met them for the first time. And Alicia, we've known for years. So this will be more like two friends having a conversation. And Alicia, I know you used to be scared to talk. Are you still nervous when you get in front of a camera or get in front of a crowd?
I'm getting better with it. I'm definitely getting better with it. Yeah. I'm getting up in front of a large room and a large audience still scares me. With the webinars, I've gotten a lot more comfortable with. So.
Yeah, you're doing a lot more webinars now and speaking, which I love. And, you know, this summit is all about growing your business with gratitude. And I was thinking about you, Alicia. I'm like, you're using gratitude, and you may not even think you are, because I'm like, Alicia's just a nice person. This is stuff she's just doing anyway because she's a nice person, not really thinking, oh, I'm going to do this to grow my business. But you do a lot of things, like you give away incredible content in your Facebook group, you write thank you cards, you send out gifts. So I want to kind of delve into a few of those things, because all of those really have helped you grow your business as like a byproduct. So let's start with your Facebook group, Fitness Business Freedom Formula. What kind of led you to create that group? For those of you listening, or watching, it's a group for fitness professionals, and Alicia gives them a lot of good information to help them grow their business. So what kind of led you to start that group? How have you grown it? And then, well, let's just start with those two questions.
Okay, sure. So yeah, so I love my clients, I love people, and I've built my business obviously through growing my email list over time. But you really lack a little bit of a personal connection with people through email. You know, it's more of a one-sided relationship. Occasionally you'll get emails back when you write something personal in there, but you really lack that day-to-day interaction. And so I really wanted to create a place, a Facebook group free for fitness professionals, health coaches, to be able to connect and communicate, because as you know, like being an entrepreneur can be a lonely game sometimes. And so, you know, a lot of us are behind our computer, feel isolated. Sometimes it's hard to form connections locally if you run a local business. And so, you know, it's really nice to be able to connect with other people who go through the same things that we all go through as entrepreneurs and business owners. And just be able to connect on that level and be real with each other and leave the egos aside and just like have actual conversations and help each other out. So that's the reason I created the group. And when I started it, I launched it and basically to my email list and my clients. And that's how we got our first few thousand members. And then I actually ran Facebook ads, and we got it up to right around 4,500 members from there. And then I stopped running ads to it. And now we're close to 10,000 members. And we grew to there through purely referral and people just finding us. So we added about 5,500 members just from people inviting their friends, people searching and finding it, or maybe hearing about it on something like this, like a webinar or something. But yeah, we try to give away a lot of free content, just really help people out in their businesses and support and encourage each other and celebrate our wins.
Yeah, and for those watching who aren't in the fitness industry, I'd still encourage you to go into the group, join it, and watch the engagement, which is incredible, because there's a lot of groups that don't have that engagement. Your group does, Alicia. So I would encourage everybody to join it just as a way to learn. You know, we're always learning. You know, how can we build our business in a better way? And your Facebook group is one of those. And you talked about kind of the giving away a lot of content. And that, we've had other interviewees in this summit where we talked about giving, whether it's gift giving or giving, maybe giving back to charity, things like that. Giving content is another form of giving and gratitude. So what has been, I guess, I don't know if you've had a specific strategy, but kind of walk us through ways that you provide content for your group, and then how you've seen that in turn lead to an increase in your business revenue.
Sure. So I will say, and I do have a higher level coaching program called Fit Pro Accelerator, and almost every single one person that signs up for that program says, I really felt like I got to know you through the Facebook group, because that's where it's more than just giving content. It's engaging and answering questions as well. And showing people that you're a real person and you care about helping them out. So as far as a content strategy, I really stick with a couple of basic things. So one, especially, and I did this a lot more in the very beginning to get the engagement going and build the momentum. And then gradually the group really took on a life of its own, and everybody's answering each other's questions. We've got some incredible people in there, always willing to jump in and help out. So it actually has taken, the responsibility off me as much as putting so much content in, because everybody's really contributing and it's really self-sustaining at this point, which is amazing. But so for me in the Facebook group, we used to do a lot of weekly challenges, and we still do them pretty regularly, but weekly challenges. And one of our challenges was sending out 5 gratitude cards.
I did the challenge.
Yes. And that was so fun. And so the challenge was on a Monday. It was hey, write 5 random gratitude cards to your clients just to show that you appreciate them. And take a picture and post it in the comments. And then at the end of the week, I'll pull out of a raffle everybody who participated, and you'll win a cool prize. And so the reason that I did the challenge was, one, it's really great to get people, and gratitude is definitely a focus of mine as well. And I love that that's your whole world. And I wanted to get people just in that, mode of, and a lot of people are already giving to their clients, but just taking a little extra, moving their business forward, reconnecting with clients, showing appreciation, and maybe winning a cool prize at the end. But that gets engagement. So things like that we did on a regular basis, live trainings, sharing just great pieces of content. A lot of times I'll take inspiration from coaching clients that we're working with. And if they have a great question, we'll be like, oh, that would really benefit a lot of people. And so it's something that we'll share on the bigger scale inside of the Facebook group. But yeah, it's just keeping up to date with what's relevant, sharing what's working now, answering questions, and just, being there to actually help people instead of having an ulterior motive to try to get something on the back end. It's be a go-giver and just, put it out there and help, and you will always receive in return.
Yeah. And something you said, something as simple as you come back and you respond to people's questions, or you just give them a virtual high five or whatever the case may be. It's something that's so easy, but a lot of people aren't doing it. Just reply to, we all want to feel, we've talked about this before, we want to feel acknowledged, we want to feel valued, we want to feel heard. These are some basic human emotions that we all have. And if Alicia says, nice job, John, great work, Judy, and you say their name, gosh, that person's going to receive that. And it makes all the difference in the world. Just some little things like saying hello and saying their first name.
So we just welcomed we welcome all of our new members, and we welcomed somebody just yesterday, and she introduced herself, which was great. And in her comment, she wrote, I'm too passionate not to own my own business and to do what I'm doing. So, a lot of people, you can just like that comment, whatever, but you write back, you're like, hey, that's so amazing. I love that you wrote, you're too passionate not to work and do and help other people. And I wrote her name, and she wrote a little comment underneath that. So that's relationship building, and that's connection, and that's acknowledging that somebody's an actual person on the other side of the computer too, which gets lost a lot of times.
Yeah. And because you give so much value, then on occasion you do open up your high level coaching program, right? And people kind of jump in, and just from your group, not even really, doesn't necessarily have to be the email marketing, because they see the value, they see a real person. When you open it up, what do you usually have? Quite a few takers?
I'll tell you what, I hardly run Facebook ads. The only thing I ran ads for last year was to grow my Facebook group.
Yeah.
And all of my business comes through my email list and through my Facebook group. And I definitely will be marketing a lot more this year because I have different goals than I had last year. And I definitely want to scale it to another level and expand my impact. But yeah, I mean, we did very well last year just from our existing community because they know that I care about them and they know that I care about my work and I'll put good stuff out there. And yeah, the marketing cycle, it's there's a lot of people so heavily focused on marketing, and taking care of the clients is 10 times more important because you can market and get people all day, but you take care of your clients, you do a great job, you over deliver, they're going to stay. You don't need to market as much.
Heck yeah. I love that. Let's shift gears to thank you cards. You brought it up as, one of your challenges was to send out 5 thank you cards. You've been, well, first of all, thank you, because I know you've used some of our cards at Say It With Gratitude. So thanks, Alicia. You've been sending out cards for a number of years. So how long, forget about how long ago you started sending out thank you cards. Kind of what is your strategy now as far as who gets thank you cards? How do you track that? What's kind of going through your head when you send out thank you cards from your business?
Yeah, we send out cards all the time. So obviously when we get a new client, we actually send out a whole welcome package and whole thing. But a handwritten card is in there. Not just some blanketed, thank you card. It's an actual handwritten card. So here's just my perspective on running my business is I want to always think of things from the client perspective and what is going to mean a lot to me, what's going to, feel like this person really cares and what would knock my socks off. Right. And a lot of times it's not spending a lot of money. It's just showing the little things and doing the little things and the details to show that you care. Like making things personal. Cards are one of the best ways to do that. We just sent out some gifts a couple weeks ago to people in the Facebook group and people who had left me a testimonial. We sent out books with thank you cards because I appreciate that. Like people who took time out of their day to film a video for me, like that's so awesome. I totally appreciate that. And so I want to show people that I care and, and give back to them as well. So yeah, I mean, the number one rule is like, they're people. They're people that, and I care about them and I want to show them that I appreciate them. So a lot of times I would say almost 100% of the time it comes down to writing a thank you card. Maybe there's a gift with it. Maybe there's not, but cards do mean a lot to people. And as far as a strategy, so we do have a regular schedule where we send cards out to clients, but we also send, and this is something I stole from Brendan Burchard. So it's called his Surprise and Enthusiasm. Ooh. And I forget how often he does it. But we kind of adopted that philosophy. And so we do every single week, 3 to 5 random surprise and enthusiasm, gifts, cards, like little pranks on people, like making it fun, obviously. But that is just doing something to make their day special. Right. And we record it and they're random, right? Sometimes they're not random if feel like we need to send something out to somebody, but it's my team literally we will do 3 to 5 every single week on top of everything that we normally do.
Dude, I love that. And I was going to ask that because I know you send out gifts for people that have won a challenge of yours, but I've seen people in your Facebook group, they'll take pictures of the gift box or the book. And I was like, geez, who else is Alicia gifting? So you're doing some things at random. And I think it can't be understated that, don't just send out gifts or thank you cards as, hey, because you gave me money and joined my program, here's a card. Care about them as people and do things that are surprises. Treat them like family. If it wasn't for them, you wouldn't have a business, right? And if you can kind of get in that mindset, gosh, and I want to, and we love delighting people, right? Surprise and delight and enthusiasm, and just start to see like who you can send a surprise to. People love surprises and don't always just make it about, hey, because they, it was a transaction, so I'm going to give them something as a thank you. Treat them more like a person. Like, how can I make this person's day? And
Exactly.
that angle, I think you're gonna find you're gonna delight a lot more people. They're gonna stay with you longer. They're gonna refer people to you. But as I mentioned, Alicia's got her clients taking pictures of the gifts and post them on social media. That is a way for people to know that Alicia delivers.
And
And
I never ask that for
yeah,
them ever to take a picture. They always do that all on their own,
it's a
which
byproduct.
is not
Yeah.
awesome.
They could be
Yeah.
posting it on their own personal page. They could be posting it on Instagram. You never know. And then somebody else could be like, "Oh, who's Alicia? I'm going to learn more about her. She seems like a great person, right?" And then probably also a great business person.
Yeah.
And so, if you can work with people that are smart with business and care, so they're great people, then you've got a winning combination. That's why I keep going back to Alicia and interviewing her for my various gratitude summits.
And I'll let you in on my little secret. And I know this isn't a secret, but giving is so, like, it's kind of a selfish act, right? It's so
Yeah.
fun for me. I love it. Like, we get excited when we have our team meetings. They're like, what can we do fun this week? I feel like it's freaking fun for us. So yeah, it's just as gratifying for us as it is, we hope, for the receiving end of what we send out.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because it leads me to a question that I just thought of. So who's on your team? It's you?
Okay. Adrian, my assistant. And then I have my client success. I call him my client success director now, Brian, who's
Brian.
phenomenal. Both, we're all on the same page with the client-centric mission.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So I love this, because one of the people I interviewed for the summit, her name was Nay Moore. She works for client operations at Woofu. And Woofu sends out a lot of thank you cards. And they get together every Thursday and they write the cards as a team. Well, it just makes them bond. Like, she has, like, the kind of the byproduct of that is they're bonding as a team. They're getting to know each other. Like, hey, what did you do over the weekend? Not like, hey, how can we make more money? Hey, what did you do over the weekend? Oh, I had a family issue. Oh, tell me more about that. And then you get to learn about those people on a personal level. I'm sure you're finding something similar when you guys are coming together and spreading gratitude. You're learning more about Brian and Adrian as people, right?
100%. And our clients as well. Yeah. Like, we learn so much about everybody. And yeah, when we're all on the same page and sharing, like, hey, this exciting thing happened, or this happened for this person, let's show them how cool that is and celebrate with them. Like, everybody learns so much more about everybody else, and just keeps you that much more, like, focused on your vision, and what you're doing means a lot more.
Love that.
Yeah.
I wanted to add a topic, because I know you do it, charity. You do some charity work and you give back to charity. And I don't even know how to formulate this into a question. Like, tell me maybe kind of your thinking when you've supported various charities over the last few years. Is that, I know it's because you're a good person. Is that something that you've always wanted to bring into your business as a charitable component?
Yeah, it's something that's always been very important to me, to be able to give back. I personally have a huge passion for helping animals. I really do. That's just something that's always been on my heart. And my husband's actually in the fire department, and somebody in his fire department, her name is Brenda. She started this foundation called Misfit Animal Rescue. And basically, she just owns this farm out in Central Florida, and she goes around and adopts dogs that are, like, about to be euthanized because the shelters are overflowing here. And she put a vet on site. She built a vet clinic on her property, and basically runs this charity. And her daughters go out, adopt out all these animals that are about to be euthanized, and takes care of them until a home is found. Wow. And so to me, like, that just fills me. And so one of the things that we love to contribute is for that, but other charities as well. And, just giving back. And there's no specific, like, one charity. Like, that's definitely one that I love. Not that long ago, and this is something that we as a group did, and everyone loves to help people out if you give them the opportunity. So we unfortunately witnessed a dog getting hit by a car when I was walking my dog, and it was the saddest thing ever. And so the dog ended up needing a lot of surgery. And so I did a fundraiser through my group. It was actually straight out of my Facebook group. And we raised over 16,000, 100% of the money went over $16,000 in like a couple of days. And we sent all of the money straight to the family, and they were able to do all of the surgery for the dog. So it's like, it doesn't have to go to a charity, it just has to go to like, you know, help somebody out, because that's something that's important to all of us. And we would hope, given the situation, somebody would be able to do that for us if we ever needed it, because they would never have been able to afford that surgery without other people's help. And so it's just, you know, finding opportunities and ways to be able to give back in your local community to things that are on your heart. But yeah, that's definitely a part of my mission, and how we feel like we can help out in a small way. So
yeah, I love that. And you talked about, being an entrepreneur can be isolating. When you can keep your eye on a bigger cause or a bigger mission than than yourself, I mean, that kind of fuels you. We all have our rough days ourselves as people and business owners. That can fuel you and to keep you going. And I know for you to be able to raise that money to help that dog that got hit by a car, I know that had to mean just about as much for you as a person and a heart-centered person as we could possibly imagine. And if you didn't have this business, you might not been able to do that. So I know that has kind of just kept you going to grow your business as well.
100%.
Awesome.
100%.
Okay, got one more. Before we started to record, we were talking about your new mastermind group and how you wanted to really connect with people again on a one-to-one level. And you mentioned in your first answer when we talked about your Facebook group, building relationships. And that's been a key in a lot of my interviews. A hot topic with Pat Rigsby and Holly Rigsby and some of the others is really building the relationships. And the mastermind group will afford you the chance to connect with your clients on a one-to-one level. Just talk to me more about, how do I even ask this? Talk to me more about, I guess, why that's important to you. Because some people just, they'll sell 2,000 ebooks and then they'll never talk to any of their clients. What does it do for you to connect with a client one-to-one?
Yeah. And there's no judgment for me. Like I've definitely, like, I encourage people to sell and create a massive amount of leverage in their business and life. And that's amazing when you can do that, because it affords you the ability to be able to, if you want to, connect with people on that deeper level. For me, it fuels me. And I've over the past few years, like, I have been focused on creating products and different programs to be able to help a wider audience. But for me, and I absolutely love that. Like, I love being able to expand my impact. But there was always something like, I am fueled when I have a conversation. Like, just talking to you, I'm like excited. I love that. I love that, like, energy and the dynamic when people are talking. And I just love talking to other people. And all of my calls that I do, they're all video, because I'm like, I'm in my office. I need to see your face. Like, I need to see. But like, I need that connection, me personally. It fuels me, keeps me excited. I feel more connected. And so that's the reason I actually started the mastermind, is because one, that's been influential for me in my business when I had that. And I wanted to be able to create that for other people. And obviously the abundance mindset and there's nothing like being with a group of people that you guys are all on the same page and focused on moving forward and passionate. But also because I wanted to work deeply with people for a little bit longer period of time to be able to connect on both ends. So they felt that need met, and I really wanted to be able to give back and connect with some people as well.
Yeah, I love that. And as a business owner myself who has coaches, there's really nothing better than having a coach to invest their time in you as one, helping you your business, but also as people. And you care if somebody was going through something personally and you were coaching them as a business client, you would care about that. You would want to help them on a personal level too. And I think that's where running a heart-centered business that gives back or is built around gratitude and giving really works out. So awesome what you're doing, Alicia.
You too, Scott.
And before we sign off, Alicia, I know I mentioned your website, but give us your website again and how we should best connect with you on social media.
Oh, you're awesome. So my website is fitproessentials with an S.com. And then my Facebook group, if you want to come check it out, it's Fitness Business Freedom Formula. I know it's a mouthful.
Yeah, but just type it in and it'll show up. Fitness Business Freedom Formula. Alicia, you rock. Thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to join me here in my summit.
Anything for you. And what you are doing is absolutely incredible, touching a lot of people, and just such an important message that needs to get out there. You're so amazing. So I appreciate you.
Thank you. Appreciate the words. Everybody watching, thank you so much. Hopefully this inspired you to send out thank you cards, maybe start a Facebook group, or at least check out Alicia's group, and you'll learn a lot and you'll feel like you have a second family. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you next time.